Good morning, you're watching the Channel M Breakfast Show. On Friday, the 17th of April, I'm Nikki Dean.
And I'm Byron feeling Lucky Evans. In a few minutes, all the latest sports news, plus our gig guide for this weekend's top concerts at 8:45. But I said feeling lucky because we've got our brekkie tipster here on the Breakfast Show from Betfred, Mr. Mark Pearson. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, how are we?
Good morning.
Very good.
Thanks. And you?
Nearly didn't make it. I did watch your traffic and travel earlier, but we didn't say about a big lorry doing a delivery on Deansgate. Ooh. That's breaking news, so avoid Deansgate, OK? Avoid Deansgate.
Thanks, Mark. Snooker's about to start this weekend.
It is, and it's now the Betfred.com World Snooker Championship. We are the main sponsors. I've got the car packed. Don't tell the WSL, but I've actually got the trophy. It's worth 100 grand in my car. And the car's just parked on Deansgate, OK? I've got all sorts of stuff in the car because I'm off to live in Sheffield now for the next 18 days. But don't worry, I'm coming back every Friday morning.
Good.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Now, we've got 32 of the world's best players. It's over 17 days, and it's a world championship. It's been crowned the world champion. Now, your market leader is Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's 9-4. Now, you know me, I don't like tipping favourites. However, I'm going to tip Rocket Ronnie. Don't want to name drop, but I was with him earlier on this week. Yeah, right. Now, he is...
Let me just pick that up for you. There's your name back.
He is an absolute dude. And, like, you know, he's had these problems in the past.
Yeah.
I said to him, if you're focused, he said, I'm absolutely focused, 150%. I've been practising really, really hard. So Rocket Ronnie is going to win at 9-4. Now, if you want a bit of outside value, Stephen Hendry is a huge 50-1, and he's won it 7 times. And he's at the other end of a draw, so he'll only meet a Rocket in the final. He's a huge 50-1. And if I'm going to name drop again, I was with Ali Carter yesterday.
Were you indeed?
An absolutely charming lad. Now, he's 12-1, and he's been practising really hard. He's taken it really, really seriously as well. He's been up in Sheffield. He's preparing himself. He's staying away from everyone else as well. He's really, really focused. Now, we were supposed to go up in an aeroplane yesterday because he has a qualified pilot. But unfortunately, the weather in South Yorkshire was too bad, so we couldn't go up. And to be honest, I was quite relieved.
Yeah, I bet you were. Yeah.
It was a very small plane.
Mark, we've been watching some exhilarating European football this week. Unfortunately, Manchester City are out of the UEFA Cup, but Manchester United's hopes are very much alive.
Well, do you know what? I was hoping I was going to come in this morning to do, like, a special double for you. United to win the Champions League and City to win the UEFA Cup. I watched the City game. They were getting some momentum going. Elano was very unlucky with a post in the bar. I thought City were going to do it. They were very, very unlucky. Now, United... OK, Ronaldo got all the plaudits on Wednesday night. I thought Rooney was outstanding on Wednesday night. Absolutely outstanding, and Rio played really well as well. Now, the favourites to go through against Arsenal, they're 13-8 on to going against Arsenal, and they're at 9-4 second favourites to lift the trophy. Now, Chelsea, Barcelona.
Yes.
Could be Messi.
Oh, very clever.
Now, we think Barcelona are nailed on, 13-8 on. We think it's going to be a Manchester United-Barcelona final, which obviously a lot of people would like.
Absolutely. We don't want a repeat of United-Chelsea, do we?
No. No, exactly. We don't want to repeat of that. So, United second favourites at 9-4. Barcelona favourites for the trophy, and a lot of money has come this week for Barcelona at 7-4. While we're talking about football, we've just mentioned City. City home to West Brom. I think they're nailed on this weekend, City. OK, well, former Sporting star Bruce Grobbelaar is in Hell's Kitchen. Nice link.
Thanks very much. Got any odds on who you think will be the favourites for them? Right,
Hell's Kitchen. I've tried to watch it. Now, normally I love these kind of things because, one, it's a bit of entertainment and you can have a bit of a bet on it. Now, to be honest, I don't like Mark Pierre White, to be honest.
I'm with you. He's no Gordon Ramsay for me. I think the austere kind of attitude is all very well and good, but it's just not as...
And to me, there are 8 stars who failed to get on Strictly Come Dancing. Now, talking of Z-List, someone's told me someone's a judge on Strictly Dancing on Ice, is that right?
Yeah, I haven't made the alphabetical scale yet, mate.
Are you the Jason, are you, on Saturday night?
That's right, yeah. I'm going to be doing some guest judging for the Dancing on Ice.
Well, good luck with that. Well, our favourite is Ade Edmondson, and he's at 9-4. Bruce Grobbel, our second favourite, not dropped anything. He's 7-2. And Jodie Latham from Shameless is 6-1. Hey, I tell you what, he's good, isn't he? He clearly wasn't acting in Shameless, was he? He is very good.
On that point, though, he's actually come out and said that he doesn't want to get to the finals, thinks it's really uncool, so should he get there, he's going to walk. Might be a waste of 50p. Don't you think he was
did you watch it last night? He was playing the martyr card last night, as Ade Edmondson pointed out, like, oh, you guys, you're brilliant and stuff like that. He wants to win. He wants to win. I think Ade Edmondson wants to win. But what's really interesting is that Marco Pierre White gets the say, doesn't he? So there's one chop tonight. The viewers only get involved in the actual final. So as a betting heat, I think it's really difficult to call. I've been very disappointed by Lineker's squeeze. Now, she's not shy in getting, like, in a bikini, is she?
No.
But she doesn't say anything.
No, no.
I thought maybe you were hoping for the bikini in the kitchen. It's not a good combination, Mark, not with them hot plates.
OK, final note. Great TV this weekend. Britain's Got Talent. We were really enthralled with the first instalment, courtesy of Suzanne Boyle, groups like Flawless. But what of this week?
Right, obviously, I don't know what the acts are this week, but it's incredible. We've only had 1 week of auditions, and we've got an absolute nailed-on favourite. Paula Potts, as she's being called, or is it Susan Boyle?
That's right,
Now,
mate.
what, and a voice of an angel, 47-year-old from Glasgow, 6 to 5, which is absolutely incredible. She's nailed on already. She's got the bookies running scared. I do like Flawless. Now, normally I watch these kind of dance acts and I think, like, I could do that after a couple of beers. I couldn't do what Flawless do. They're 5 to 1.
Might
Brilliant.
be worth sticking a quid on.
Mr Pearson, as always, thank you very much for joining this morning. But remember, if you're going to have a flutter...
Only ever gamble on what you can afford to lose. Can I just say something very, very quickly? Obviously, I'm snooker loopy at the moment. If there is a maximum break, 147, Fred Dawn, my boss, is going to give 147 grand to charity.
Wow.
147 grand of his own cash will go to sport relief if there is a maximum break.
Fantastic.
I'll see you next Friday.
Yes, you will
Fingers crossed for
indeed.
that.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. Time now for the latest news with Georgia.
Good morning. A local councillor found with hundreds of indecent photos of children on his computer has been jailed for 6 years. 42-year-old Joe Shaw of Avondale Street in Standish had earlier pleaded guilty to 17 counts of possessing indecent images of children, possessing a Smith & Wesson revolver and possession of ammunition without a certificate. Shaw was a local councillor in Wigan at the time of the incident, but subsequently resigned. Shaw claimed he downloaded the images by mistake and that the gun had been given to him 20 years ago by a man he only knew as Bill. He also claimed that the ammunition had been given to him at a gun club. A bank worker stole nearly £20,000 from customers. Saffron Majzoub, who worked as a customer advisor at the Royal Bank of Scotland in Longside, used the personal details of women she'd befriended to take out loans. She then used the bank's computer system and forged signatures to withdraw cash. Majzoub pleaded guilty to 2 counts of theft, and a judge at Manchester Crown Court has sentenced her to a year in prison. Now, the death of Jade Goody has highlighted how women of any age can be affected by cervical cancer. 23-year-old mum Charlotte Hughes from Hughes was diagnosed with the disease almost 3 years ago. She's terrified of what the future might hold and is launching a charity to raise awareness of the importance of smear tests for all young women.
It was the worst day of my life when I found out that I had cervical cancer. It was just devastating because I was 20 at the time. You know, you never think you'll get cervical cancer at the age of 20. My life would be very different now if I probably would have had a smear at 18. I wouldn't be sat here now telling my story. I've been through 2 major life-threatening operations. This year I'm going through my 4th lot of chemo now. And that's all through 3 years. I've never had a letter from the NHS inviting me for a smear. I wasn't of age for a smear. It makes me angry. Because, you know, I've got a young daughter there to look after and raise and be a mum. But with me being poorly, I can't be a full-time mum. Well, Charlotte Shining Star is fighting against cervical cancer to get the government to reduce the age for cervical smears from 25 to 18. So we're doing a big day where we'll be all raising our voice, cervical cancer, singing That's What Friends Are For, and holding the biggest cervical cancer ribbon in the world. I want to raise awareness, make other girls aware of cervical cancer, aware of smears are needed, and get the government to reduce the age from 25 to 18.
Police are trying to establish whether a Subaru found on Canal Street in Stockport is the same one as seen with the Mercedes E270 that was crashed by a teenager being pursued by the police yesterday. 16-year-old Rambo Osmanovic was killed in the accident in Hyde and had been driving his father's Mercedes when he collided with a lamppost. Police had spotted him and a Subaru speeding in Mottram and had tried to pull them over when they raced off. Rambo's car's thought to have reached speeds of up to 100 miles per hour before he crashed trying to escape the police. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The Independent Police Complaints Commission has been informed and the officer involved in the chase relieved from driving duty. Now, 1 out of 3 Britons don't trust any politicians. Surprise, surprise. That's a conclusion of a YouGov survey out today. This comes at the same time as the political temperature is starting to rise in one part of Greater Manchester. Kevin Duffy's hit the streets to put trust to the test.
They line their own pockets, and you only see them when they want your vote. And you hear about them, you know, TVs, films, you know, 2 houses. Yeah, so no, I don't trust them anymore.
Do you trust politicians?
No, not really.
Why not?
Well, they say one thing and do another, don't they?
Ask people if they trust politicians in general, and there's a good chance they'll say no. However, it looks as though you get a more positive response once they've met one face to face. In this case, the Shadow Foreign Secretary, William Hague, helping out on the council by-election trail here in Radcliffe. Do you trust politicians?
Yeah, I think I do, yeah.
Do you trust the one you've just met?
Yeah, definitely. He seemed very honest, he seemed very nice, so yeah, I'd like to say yes.
Florist Donna Walker is willing to give politicians the benefit of the doubt, including this particular customer.
I think everybody deserves to be trusted. Yeah, you know, everybody does deserve a certain element of trust. If people keep letting you down, then that trust is diminished.
So why is it that so many people don't trust politicians? Well, Mr. Hague had a uniquely conservative answer to that question.
I think they're always right to be a bit sceptical about anything they're promised by anybody. But I think 12 years of the Blair-Brown government has made this much worse. Right. You know, I think people had such hopes of that government when it started, and then they've had so many disappointments. Now they're not sure whether they can believe any promises anymore.
Regardless of whether Mr. Hague is right or wrong, trust will be put to the test when a by-election is held in Radcliffe West on June the 4th. Kevin Duffy for Channel M News.
The Home Secretary, Jackie Smith, has said that councils in England and Wales shouldn't use surveillance powers to target minor offences such as dogs fouling pavements. Her statement was part of a review of the Regulation of Investigatory Powers Act, which was introduced to allow police and security services to fight crime and terrorism, but was later extended to allow local authorities to use some covert techniques. Ms Smith has said that the government has no interest in spying on law-abiding people going about their everyday lives. Police have condemned an unprovoked attack on a man with Asperger's syndrome in Rochdale as an act of mindless violence. The 44-year-old victim had just come out of a shop when his attacker approached him, punched him in the face until he fell over and then continued to kick him in the head. A member of the public tried to chase the attacker, but he escaped. His victim suffered large cuts to his face, a dislocated shoulder, and his arm has been fractured in 3 places. Police are appealing for witnesses. A man who went on the run to avoid jail after putting a man into a coma is being sought by police. Jonathan McConville from Woodhouse Park in Wythenshawe admitted causing grievous bodily harm to his victim and was due to be sentenced for the assault in February. Mark McConville, who has links with Newell Green, failed to attend court and a judge has issued a warrant. Now, Manchester City are out of this season's UEFA Cup despite beating Hamburg 2-1 last night. Alano and Filippo Caicedo were City's goal scorers, but it's Hamburg who go through 4-3 on aggregate. More on that game with Mike and Byron in a few minutes. Well, actually, let's go to them now, because they're here. Why not?
Thanks, Georgia. Yeah. We will talk about sport now.
Because we're here.
Because we are here. But before we talk about that exhilarating game of football over at Eastlands last night, a rumour has it there's going to be a permanent royal appointment up in Oldham, Mike Bradley.
Yeah, the powers that be at Bounty Park have offered the position, as you say, full-time managership to Joe Royle. It's a bit of a strange one for me to get my head around this morning. So
he hasn't won a game yet, has he?
He played 6, lost 3 and drawn 3, so he got 3 points from a possible 18. It's quite bizarre, really. When he took over, they thought he was going to put them into the playoffs. The season's not finished, and mathematically they can't even reach the playoffs now, so the season's effectively over with the man they appointed to extend their season, which is a bit odd. And he's also told unknown striker Steve Cabber he can leave the club immediately because he won't be playing for the team ever again. And when you're failing to score goals up front, you let an unknown striker go. It does seem
confusing.
Confusing, absolutely. But hey, welcome to Boundary Park, Joe. You've been there before, and welcome back.
Yeah, OK. Let's talk about that heart-and-mouth game of football that took place in Eastlands, and the Blues boys put in one heck of a shift, but it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough, and if the game was only yesterday, over 90 minutes, if it was one leg, then we'd be sat here congratulating City to go through 2-1. Yeah. But you do wonder, they have underperformed this season, and for whatever reason, I mean, we've all got our own opinions. As you say, end-to-end last night. They deserved to win by a bigger margin than 1 goal. They didn't. City have gone out 4-3 on aggregate. Hamburg go 3, and Hamburg, I believe, this morning have been installed as the new favourites. Is that a consolation? City won't lift it because they were knocked out by the favourites? I don't know. I think they missed a great opportunity there. But still, that record is intact. Never lost at home to a German side. Hamburg have never beaten an English side away from home.
Close but no cigar. But how will Mark Hughes be feeling this morning?
A bit schizophrenic, I would imagine. I would imagine he lambasted his players, certain defenders who got shown 2 yellow cards in a dressing room. And when he met the awaiting press afterwards, he was, as I say, caught in 2 minds, but went out of his way to praise his team.
The manner of the performance, obviously not the end result of the tie, but certainly the performance was what I know we're capable of. What we need to do is produce that on a regular basis. In the future, that's what we will do. Obviously, it's been a season of inconsistent performances, but tonight there was a real sense that we were trying to make something special happen, and we almost made it happen. But unfortunately, we didn't get that break when we needed it, when we were really in the ascendancy. Obviously, the sending off hampered us somewhat, but we still kept going, still asked questions of the opposition, and they're a good side. They're a good side, so we made them at times really struggle to keep in the game tonight. So I think that shows what we've been able to produce tonight.
Well, the dismissal of Richard Dunn had a huge impact on the game, but the numbers they lacked on the pitch were certainly made up for by the numbers in the crowds who were cheering the Blues boys on. They were cheering the Blue boys on during the game. Afterwards, well, they weren't short of a few words to say.
We were a bit unlucky tonight.
A lot more heart than on Sunday anyway. The players looked really up for it. It's just a shame.
I think the problem is we're not fully a team yet, really. We're not a team. We're not a team. We're full of individuals. Yeah. That's what the issue is.
Yeah, we haven't got a proper strike force, and at the end of the day, Hughes is not the man for us because he's too defensive and he doesn't know when to push forward there.
We need some European experience. A man in there with European experience.
We lost the game in Hamburg. We lost the game in Hamburg.
If we've got the money to buy Kaká, we've got the money to get Mourinho.
But what we've been used to over the last 10 years, we deserve better, yeah? Tell these lads we deserve better, right? We're here, right? £5, £1 for the ticket. If it'd be £55, it'd still be people here, yeah? City deserve better, right? And I'm telling you now, whether you keep this manager or not, you need a world-class striker. Torres, come on, lad, get a blue shirt on. Yeah.
He's great, that guy.
Come on, Torres.
He's brilliant. We need more people like that. In fact, we should get him on the show.
We'll try for next week.
Excellent. Let's talk rugby now. And Sailor in action against Harlequins tonight.
Big game tonight. Head coach Kingsley Jones admits it's going to be tough against Harlequins.
We win on Friday night, we're guaranteed to be top 6. We're away from Newcastle, from the Newcastles, the Wasps, the Saracens, the Northampton who we're chasing. Then we go into the last game of the season against Northampton with everything to play for. And as long as it's mathematically possible to be in the top 4, we'll keep fighting to the last minute of the last game.
If you weren't to finish in that top 4 places, considering where you were at Christmas 1 and 2, what would the feeling be for you personally?
We can't have that mentality at the moment that we're already out of it and that we've already reflected on what could have been. And I do get that feeling around everybody involved with the club, the supporters, and what we need as as the management particularly, is make sure that, the message out there, and has been from me since we lost in Leicester. I mean, 10 minutes after the game, I'm saying we're still in with a chance. The media are looking at me as if I'm a bit mad. That's fine, and I understand that. Maybe I'm a bit mad, maybe I'm a bit optimistic, but we really need to be, and all the supporters, we really need to be, and let's believe we can be there. If we do that, we still have a chance of being in the last 4.
OK, City may be out of the UEFA Cup, but Manchester United are still in the FA Cup, and there's a semi-final match to take place this weekend.
Taking place at Wembley. We're going to hear about David May, what he thinks about the decision to host it down south in a couple of minutes. First of all, in the last 4 seasons, the team knocking Middlesbrough out of the FA Cup have gone on to lift the trophy. Everton knocked them out in the quarter-finals.
Ooh, really?
So there you go.
Well, David Moyes' side have been going from strength to strength, especially the latter stages of this season. Have United got the firepower to put them out?
I think they can, and we'll have more about that on 12 and 5 o'clock news later on today. But for now, the big debate surrounding the decision to host the game at Wembley. Former United defender David May, he's pretty upset.
Oh, it's an absolute joke, to be fair.
I think Wembley should be Wembley for finals, not for semi-finals. You know, even the fact that, you know, you've got two teams coming from the northwest, Everton and Man United. You've got to go all the way down there on a Sunday, play the game, come all the way back. But, you know, it's part of the FA, they have to make the money. I know a lot of lads who, you know, big United fans, are not going to go because, you know, in today's present times, you know, they can't afford it.
Well, Mike will be back on Monday, and I'm led to believe he'll have everything for us for Monday morning's show. Time now for a break. Coming up, a guide to the weekend's hot tickets with our Jukebox Jude. See you soon.